a fight with very vocal this Dodd recently with Andy and with Teddi. Well, Kyle, look, here's Kyle, and the trailers looks a lot about her. Crystal Kung Minkoff recently said, which I keep bringing up, that she was hazed and she was told it's Kyle's show, and she's in charge. Oh, also, Alexia is engaged. She's 28, I believe. So we thought Farrah was going to get married. We thought other ones were going to get married first. Alexia is truly engaged, and it seems that Kyle is going to have a wedding. So Kyle, the little clips in the trailer, but also through her interviews, she has come out. Kyle has come out of the closet finally and said she actually has been questioning her sexuality. No, we don't care. We don't care if you're gay, bi. We don't care if you're non-binary. We don't care if you're trans. Well, at least I don't. I mean, I guess a lot of the world seems to. And yes, I'm referring to sexual orientation and I'm referring to sexual preference. I understand those are not the same things. I'm college educated. Thank you. Not that being college educated means anything. Oh, please. You go to Yale and Harvard and blah, blah, doesn't mean you're going to be successful. You got that drive inside of you. So for everyone out there without a degree, you know how many successful people I know without a degree? But I'm not one of them. So we don't care. But when you're on a reality show and you're asked about Morgan or things and you just don't give us an answer, we actually do care because that's the job. So Kyla said that she's been questioning her sexuality and that there's just and Shawn Mendes has said the same thing recently that he some days he has it figured out and other days he just doesn't. So Kyle has said that it is evolving. Her sexuality is evolving and her sexuality is changing, evolving and changing. That is what Miss Richards says. She says she's still figuring it out. Look, I'm still figuring it out. That's okay, Kyle. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. We appreciate some honesty about it. And she says, the fact that she's even able to say that it's evolving is a really big deal. Sure. I mean, you're in a 28-year marriage to a man. You have how many children? And now it's evolving and you're figuring it out. Great. This is the stuff that we just want to hear. Not that we need to hear this, but if this is what's going on in your life and you're on a reality show, this is what we should hear. That's the point. Right? That's the point. So look, I understand. She then said that, and we'll see some of this play out on the show, that it was important to tell her four daughters, or in Teresa Giudice's case, daughters. It was important to tell the four daughters publicly before talking about it, the four daughters privately before talking about it publicly. Makes total sense. Completely understand. It's your right. I got it. She says the online chatter got so much that if it wasn't for the Bravo show and it wasn't for, she said, even at season 13, that she dodged the question at the reunion when Andy asked it. But the fact that she was even able to say things like, I don't know, let me get back to you, whatever hedging she did, the fact that she was even able to say that, she says, was a huge, big deal. Huge, big deal. So I like that, right? I like that. And she goes on to say that, the show actually helped. Let me just be honest. The show actually helped, that all the chatter and all the focus on it, that none of this would have really gotten her to look into things if it wasn't for the show and the chatter online and the Bravo audience, which that's great. That's great. I mean, that is really where the greatest thing about the show. I mean, look, I think the shows are in decline. I think, the writing is on the wall. I mean, I've said it before. I still think we're at the 5-year mark. I mean, not 1 year, not 2 years, 5 years. In 5 years, I think this whole thing could be over for Housewives. And that's okay. It's okay. Guess what? Excuse me. I'll still be here, guys, if I don't die first. It's possible. Could be my time. If I don't die first, I will still be here doing the show and we'll talk about plenty. But if you take all that away, the fact that it does give a platform to women, like you look at someone like a Jennifer Pedantry, right? Broke, 60,000 her first year. She just completed a season where she made 120. Now she'll probably make like 300,000 for the next season when she's back. So look, I think she's thrilled and happy with Ryan, right? But if she wasn't, she's now going to have some money of her own, which is going to, it's going to allow her to do things. You look at like Gina Kirschenheiter, like she's feeling the money now. It's where else would you have gotten this? It is like just a gift from above. And I'm not saying that each person doesn't deserve it because you don't keep the job if you don't. But, it really does empower women to make choices for themselves. And so I love it. I love that it gives a platform, or at least it used to women 50 and older, although we're certainly skewing younger now. So I love this. I love that, Kyle. It's because of this platform that she is kind of on this journey of self-discovery. Great, Kyle. No one's judging you. No one cares, although some people care. But we just want you to talk about it and be honest. That is what it is to be a reality show. If you're not on a reality show, you don't have to do this, right? So I'm really all for this. I'm really ecstatic with this. I love it. I'm totally here for it. So we're gonna learn more about that this season, and I think in like the best, great every way possible. Um, Good for the online. She said she was terrified. It was the hardest conversation she ever had to have with her daughters. I understand it. She also said, look, I signed up for this, and because we did see a distance from Morgan Wade in some of the pictures. Morgan wasn't there. Now she's hiding her in Africa. Kyle says, yeah, look, Morgan, she had her own problems with the paparazzi and the constant attention, and she didn't sign up for this. I mean, she's also not making, the 1.5, 2 million, whatever it is, dollars you're making. So, she certainly did not sign up for this because that's not her salary. We get it. And I think, God, Kyle must be up where Teresa is at this point, right? I mean, she is the show. So anyway, there you go. That's that. So I get it. We're not going to see Morgan on the show. She didn't sign up for this, and she just it's not happening. It's not happening for her. So there you go. No more Morgan. They're still friends. They'll be together, and I totally get that. Her divorce from Mauricio. Kyle has really opened up in this series of interviews. Yeah, sure, she understands it. People want to know what's going on, but look, there's no rush. They're not rushing. This works for them. He has completely moved out. He's still part of the family unit. Look, they'll always be a family. This is what it is. Look, there's a lot of assets, right? So let's just be honest. That's got to be part of it. Unlike Teddi, I don't see this getting nasty. I think if they were to divide things up, it'll be divided up. Kyle says she calls Mauricio all the time for business advice, investment property advice. Should she buy this? Should she buy that? They're a family unit. They've been together forever. And let's face it, it is what it is. I mean, they're not gonna fight. They're not gonna break up. Mauricio will always be in her life and the kid's life. And I think it's great. This is